G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm of course Akephalos, and today we're going to be talking about something really important to me here in this video. First of all, I want to say I apologize about the overly dramatic thumbnail. Essentially, the channel's future is fine. There's nothing going on or wrong with the channel. It's, all going well. Basically, I just wanted to talk about the next direction for me as a creator here on YouTube, as well as, a video game content creator essentially. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I just want to try to keep things short, but I want to try to essentially talk about my journey here a little bit on the platform. Now, most of you might have joined me around, I think, October of last year, I believe. It's either October or September, or, within one of these 2 months, essentially. So you might have joined me around that particular month. Some of you might have even been here before, and I know some of you have, and I remember some of you actually, but a majority of you probably only joined me around September or October. And for those of you who were unaware of, essentially what I was doing before that, and some of you even who joined me earlier might not even be aware of it, essentially before making Legends of Runeterra and Path of Champions content, I was a video game walkthrough channel, or at least, I like to think I was, essentially. So some of you might have actually seen some of these walkthroughs, and that walkthrough in question is actually down here, which is the Ruin King playthrough that I did on the channel. 133 episodes, a very long series, obviously, basically just trying to get stuck into the entire Ruin King series. Really fun series. I definitely enjoyed myself playing it. Now, if we go back even further before my Ruin King playthrough here on the channel, I used to do other playthroughs as well. I've been here on the platform for 3 years already, just to let you guys know. It's still a fairly young age, I would say, for a YouTuber, for a content creator. And essentially, just to give you a little bit of backstory to what I did here, all this will make sense in a second. So, yeah, basically, when I started, I used to do stuff like, Assassin's Creed. This was probably one of my favorite games as a kid growing up, and that's why, I decided to do a playthrough of it. Grand Theft Auto, obviously, a very famous one, and the Mass Effect trilogy. How can you forget Mass Effect? Mass Effect was one of the series that really connected with me in terms of the storyline and whatnot. So the reason why I'm bringing forward all of this at the present moment is quite frankly because I'm not really sure where do I move forward from here. And the reason I say that is because, when I started out here on the platform, essentially, like I mentioned, I was a playthrough channel, and the original intention back then was to recapture the happiness, if you will, of my youth. I know this might seem really cliche or potentially a little bit cringy, and apologize if it is, but life hasn't been kind, and the reality is that for me at least, video games seem to be a escape for me, and gives me a moment to essentially just relieve myself from the bullshit which is life and as a whole. And the reality is, I enjoy playing video games quite a lot, maybe even too much, I would say. So the thing here is, even though the lore content is going well, and I thoroughly appreciate every single one of you for all the support you've shown so far. I cannot stress this enough, I hope I don't sound like I'm being too pretentious or anything, but the reality is I really do. I really do appreciate the traction that I've been getting on the lore content. I'm not gonna go too in detail over what I meant by the bullshit in life, but essentially, in my perspective at least, it's really nice to see the growth that I'm getting on this channel here. It gives me hope, essentially. Yeah, that's basically why I really genuinely do appreciate all the support that you've shown so far. So therefore, when I say this next bit here, it's not me trying to be ungratuitous or something. I really do appreciate you, but the thing is, I would like to try to, resurrect or essentially redo some of these old video game playthroughs here that I did on the channel. I'm not going to do it here, but, actually I haven't decided yet. I'm probably not going to do it here, but I might do it on a separate channel because, again, like I mentioned, these games, the 2000s eras games like Assassin's Creed, Grand Theft Auto, Mass Effect trilogy and all that, that era of games was essentially my childhood growing up. So my fondest memories of happiness, I would say, is, basically hanging out with my cousin, and he would essentially just show me all these games, and sometimes we'd play them together. And yeah, I really miss that, I would say. I'm, an adult now, essentially, and, well, a young adult. I'm not exactly an adult, but a young adult. And life has been essentially, let's just say, slapping me in the face really hard. So I really miss that escape essentially. I just feel like I miss that nostalgia and at the same time those happy emotions, if you will. So my intention originally when I started this channel was to hopefully do playthroughs together, relive some of that nostalgia, and most importantly, recapture some of that happiness. And basically, I think it just went off in a tangent onto Legends of Runeterra when I started my first Legends of Runeterra content, which was of course, I believe the animations video and then the Path of Champions. So these two of course have been taking off and definitely have been doing very, very well here. So I'm definitely grateful for that. But like I said, I miss doing the old content and I feel like I would like to redo it again. Now, here's the thing. I'm not really sure how to approach this because, like I mentioned, you guys are really accustomed to me making POC content here on this channel. And the last thing I want to do essentially is, turn you guys away by spamming you a lot with content that might not be related to the POC. So my idea here is to set up a new channel. I have set up the foundations of it, if you will. It's going to be called Akephalos Plays. It's the same as a Discord server, which you can join, of course, through the link up here if you'd like to. But yeah, essentially the channel is going to be called Akephalos Plays. This is the old banner, by the way. There's going to be no cutscenes and level up animations. This was the banner before I changed it to this one. So yeah, I'm still gonna have to tweak it a little bit. But essentially on this channel, we're probably going to be focusing on casual playthroughs. Basically, whatever game that I used to play as a kid, usually on the lowest difficulty, just to be a really, really chill and really, really relaxed playthrough essentially. So the time frame is not really guaranteed. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to make daily playthroughs of it because I am going to be still focused on lore, I should add. So yeah, one thing to note, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, is that even though I am going to be setting up the second channel, lore is still going to be my main priority because you guys, a majority of my audience essentially, I got established through lore. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'd be really irresponsible and at the same time really, malpractice on my part to essentially not focus on lore as my main content. So this is still going to be my main content. I will still be uploading the level up animations and the Path of Champions content, but on the side, essentially on the side, I'd love to redo my old playthrough series here on a separate channel. So I haven't really decided yet if it's going to be daily. I haven't even decided yet if I'm still going to go through with my old or current format of, including commentary. I include commentary into the POC. That's quite simply because, playing a card game is very much different from playing, say, a Call of Duty, essentially. In the Call of Duty, like, an FPS game, usually there's a lot going on. It's probably not conducive to speak. And although I can speak, obviously, like in my old videos I have spoken, but I'm not really sure what to do that yet. So that could be something, if you guys are interested in subscribing to the new channel, you could give me your thoughts on that down below. I'd really appreciate to hear that. But anyway, yeah, casual playthroughs on this channel on the lowest difficulty, just, a group of people just chilling out, having fun, and basically just revisiting their childhood, or potentially, if you guys are, a little bit younger than me, you can potentially just see some of the games that I used to play when I was younger. But yeah, basically, that is the plan so far. I haven't really decided yet. I haven't even decided if I want to go through with this yet, because I believe I had a community post a long time ago, a really, really long time ago. If I actually just scroll all the way down, if we can scroll all the way down, and as you can see, 8 months ago when I first reached 500 subscribers here on the channel, a really far cry from the current 2.6k currently. So thank you guys so much for that once again. I did ask a community post, I did run a community post here asking if you guys, at the time I wasn't doing POC content, the POC wasn't even live yet at the time. So yeah, I basically jumped on board on the right time. But anyway, I was doing the level up animations and cutscenes like I mentioned earlier. So essentially, I was doing other playthroughs in the process as well at the time. And I asked you guys if would it be okay if I shared playthroughs as well, and you guys made it very clear, unanimously I should say, that you're interested in the cutscenes and animations. So I figured, okay, you know what, let's just stick to cutscenes and animations, essentially focus on that first, and then potentially later on down the line we can do other playthroughs of single player games as well, the stuff that I've been doing prior to this, potentially on a different channel. So yeah, yeah, basically I figured I'd try to revive that because, again, like I mentioned, I miss doing the old playthroughs. I miss playing games like Mass Effect. I miss playing games like Assassin's Creed. I basically miss my childhood, Need for Speed, Call of Duty, everything that I used to play, or at least, played with my cousin growing up. All the comfort games, essentially. So I'd really love to redo that, hopefully, or potentially on the new channel that I essentially made earlier. I'm not sure where it's gone, but essentially, yeah, I wanted to do it there. So I guess, what I'm trying to accomplish here, essentially, is that, I'm trying to ask you guys two questions. A, should I do this? Is this a viable idea to do? Is this a viable endeavor to pursue? And B, if I do this, how would I do it? Like, would I do daily playthroughs? Would I do commentated playthroughs? Stuff like that format, essentially. So I'd really love your input on that if it's possible. Leave it down in the comment section down below, or you can of course contact me through Discord, through the link in the description or on my channel bio. But rest assured, the POC is here to stay. I will be making POC content. I will be making Legends of Runeterra content. You can of course expect playthroughs as frequently as possible, and of course as well as the level up animation compilations for skins and regular champions whenever there's new ones added. Those will always be updated. That is my promise, my guarantee, my vouch to you. So you don't have to worry about that. The only time I'm not gonna make POC content or any other regular content as a whole is either one or two situations. If I'm dead in the ground somewhere, or potentially by some freak accident I basically lose both my arms, or essentially I lose my mental capacity to think or something, like some sort of freak accident. But yeah, let's just hope it doesn't come to that. But anyway, those two situations are probably the only time I'm not gonna make any POC content for you. So basically that's what I want to get out there. I just want to be very, very clear and coherent with that, regarding whatever decision we make moving forward. So again, just to sum it up in a really, really short statement, I am planning to make a new channel focused on what I did before, which is old video game playthroughs. But at the same time, I will be maintaining my POC content here on the channel. And regarding the first thing, which is the new content part, I really like your input as well as potentially your thoughts on it down below. I'd really appreciate that. That would give me a little bit of a baseline, a little bit of a guideline to essentially direct me towards where I would like to go. But yeah, that's basically all I just wanted to say. So, thank you guys for listening, and most importantly, thank you all so much for the support that you've shown me here over the course of 3 years on my journey here on YouTube. Without you, I won't be here right now, and definitely, without the first 500 of you or the first 1,000 of you, I wouldn't be here on this platform continuing to make videos consistently. That's just the reality of it. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for all the support so far. Really, really do appreciate that. It's been a long and rough journey, I would admit, but it's obviously worth it at the end. So really, really pleased, really, really happy, and of course really, really gratuitous about that. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. This is AkephaLoR signing off. Goodbye.